Okay, hey guys, we're back again. Man, we have had a lot recently. A Super Bowl, NBA All-Star, and now the Olympics are on TV. But anyway, I'm Bruce with Marcus, with Daryl. We thought maybe we'd bring up some things about the Olympics. You know, is it exciting today as it was in the old days? Are we watching it? Or do we have some really good memories about it? I mean, I'm watching the Olympics a little bit, and I don't know if you know Lindsey Vonn. She's that downhill skier. She's supposed to be the best ever in the world, but she keeps getting hurt. And then
Yep.
I'm watching her, and she got hurt really bad. I don't know if you saw the pictures of her. She's got like screws all over her legs.
Yeah, pretty bad.
You know, I mean, she's has so many injuries, and sometimes another skier gets up there and they're listing the injury they had. Another skier. I'm thinking this downhill skiing. I mean, I'd love to have been able to do it. We just can't do it in Texas, but it looks so fun. But it sounds like it's more dangerous than football. The injuries these guys have, you know,
Yeah.
90 miles per hour on this little razor blades at the side. I mean, it's just incredible. I feel bad for Lindsey Vonn, but you know she's tough, and she'll be back. I just wonder when she gets my age if she'll be doing walking. Ooh.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then the other one for me, I'm noticing is skating. I don't know if you know skating. I don't know. I don't watch skating except during the Olympics. None of these things I watch except during the Olympics. But Ilya, did you see him? He's supposed to be like the greatest skater ever. I thought, man, they put a target on his back. They already called him he's 21 years old, and he was already
The GOAT.
quad god.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
quad god. So he was all set. He was in first place. His competitor had already fallen or something, so it looked like he had it made. Then all of a sudden he falls two times, and then he still does better than I could ever do, but still he ended up in eighth place.
Yep.
The quad god. Good gosh. I don't know. You know, too bad for him. I feel bad for him. And then immediately he's being interviewed by the press. You know, what happened out there? And he's like trying not to cry. You know, he's like, I don't know. I blew it.
Yeah.
And he did.
Wow.
Tough. Hope he's just enjoying the rest of his time. Anyway, you guys watching it at all, or did you used to watch it back in the day?
Yeah, I'm more of a Summer Olympics type
Yeah.
person. In Summer Olympics, I'm into swimming, of course, track and field, and
Yeah.
Winter Olympics, not so much. You know what I mean? I don't like cold weather as it is, so why would I want to watch
There you either, yeah.
somebody fall down in the snow? You know, it's terrorizing. I don't want to do that.
Wait, are we talking about the Olympics? I thought we were talking about Ozempic. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go get my talking points. I gotta go redo my talking points. I thought you wanted to know about Ozempic. Like, yeah, I think she
Yeah,
on
that's
it
not a
too. I think he
sponsor of
on it.
us.
Yeah, they are a sponsor. Yeah,
Now
I'm
I got
kind
their
of.
theme song in my head. Thanks a lot.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
Let's
Well,
hear it. Let's hear it.
oh,
Let's hear it.
yeah, let's hear it.
Oh, Zempic.
You got my vote, Bruce.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. To Daryl's point, I'm more of a summer Olympic person. I'm not a fan of the cold weather, so even watching it on television kind of gives me a little bit of chill. And yeah, and your points, man. I mean, those are some pretty. I mean, all of these sports are competitive, and I feel so bad for both of those athletes who got hurt because again, they train their whole life
Yeah.
for that moment, and it's not like a being a pro and you have another game to play next week or a couple of days later and you can recover or whatever. It's almost like worse than losing a Super Bowl because I mean, again, you have to wait so long
4
for the
years.
opportunity just to compete again, and the window in terms of those prime years where your body can physically do the job to be at that level where you can compete on the world stage. It's a small window. So, my heart goes out to them, which is a perfect transition for me to talk about one of my favorite memories, if that's okay with you, Bruce.
Yeah, talk about your favorite memory.
Yeah.
Or
I got to give it
favorite
up.
sports memory.
My favorite memory of the Olympics, and I'm getting back in the Wayback Machine, 30 years. Come on, Sherman, let's go. Aging myself there, but it's Dominique Dawes, the awesome Dawson. I think she was absolutely fantastic. For those of you who don't know, she was a women's gymnast. She competed in 92, 96, and also in 2000. But her big breakout moment was in 1996. She won the gold for her team all around with that Magnificent Seven. She had the individual bronze award, and all in all, like, I mean, she had 3 Olympic medals in total,
Wow.
1 gold, 1 silver with the team, and then of course the bronze. But here, being that it's Black History Month, let me talk about why this is so big. I mean, she was the first woman to win an individual Olympic gymnastic medal. So I mean, that was historic in itself. Of course, you move to the Magnificent Seven. Those women won their first ever Olympic team gold, or for the U.S. And this was the Olympics with Carrie Shrug, who also injured her ankle back then.
Yeah, that
Shannon
was quite a
Miller.
moment too. Very
Yeah,
dramatic.
exactly. And then Dominic Mercinu. So I mean, it was great. And just her floor routine, like she had power, athleticism, and just her tumbling ability. Like she moved with grace, and it was just angelic to watch her. So that's kind of my favorite moment. I think the only one I would say to kind of counter that is going way, way further back in the time machine, and this is to 1984 for us youngins who remember Mary Lou Retton. And
Oh yeah,
hopefully,
yeah,
Daryl, that's
yeah.
not what you were about to talk about, but she was America's sweetheart as well, and she won 5 medals herself: a gold for all around, she won silver for the vault, and then she had the bronze for uneven bars floor, and then of course for the team. And I remember her being on every Wheaties box in the
Yeah.
store. I was probably like 12 years old at the time, but I still remember her. She was definitely an icon of the 80s.
Yeah, I remember a few years ago she was real sick or something. They had to
Yeah.
collect money for her because, you think some of these guys all make all this money, but not that long ago they weren't make generational money like they do today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got to tell you one memory I have. This is probably my first Winter Olympics memory. I was
Okay.
just starting to watch this stuff. I don't know if you ever heard of Jean-Claude Keely. This guy was a downhill racer. He was world famous. So it's the first time I'm watching it. I think it's the 1968 Olympics. And he's coming down, and I learned more about commentators. Sports commentators now, they build it up. They make it like, this is the best thing I ever seen in my life. Well, they just had another dunk. Well, anyway, I didn't know they built it up like this. So I'm watching Jean-Claude Keely. Jim McKay is calling it. He's doing a downhill. I mean, his guy is flying, and he had to beat the other guy. I mean, the other guy was like a tenth of a second ahead of him. So, this guy was flying down the screen. There's pictures of him still where you can see him go around the corner. He's in the air and cutting through the air. And, man, I was riveted. The guy's French. I'm just riveted thinking this guy, I'm seeing the best downhill skiing of history. What a lucky guy I am. And he was. He's tremendous. But that was so famous to me because just the way they were calling it. And he did. He won it like in 1 or 2/100ths of a second. I don't think it was a super G, just that, what do you call it, this giant slalom or whatever it is, where they just going straight down. Oh, that was amazing. And then what topped it off, the next year, this was always my favorite car because it was 1969, the Camaro Z28. He
I remember
advertised
that.
for it.
Yeah.
Him, Mario Andretti won it. The 69 Super Sport was the car for the Indianapolis 500. I'm like, I have to get one of those someday. What am I, 8 years old? I don't know. I'm going to get one of those someday. Almost did get one once, but
Wow.
wow.
What?
Sorry if I'm riveting you.
No, yeah, regale us, Bruce. Regale us with your tales.
Well, the thing about you're talking about your favorite moments, your most memorable moments. And I don't have a memorable moment in terms of someone's specific award, but one of the things that really stands out to me about the Olympics is the divers.
Oh,
And
gosh.
I was so influenced by divers, I mean, and it was so much to the point where I thought I was going to be an Olympic diver. And
Whoa.
I started going to the pool and practicing all these dives and stuff. And I remember the lifeguards would yell and fuss at me, you can't do that. I'm jumping in and saving you. Next time you do something stupid like that. I'm like, okay. But then I went to my sister's house, who, she lived in an area that was a little more, let's call it diverse, and people that were familiar with things like Olympic diving. Because in the hood where I was from, we just wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't doing diving and stuff, right? And so I was at the pool with my nephew. I have a nephew who's my age. A shout out to Han. And you know, I went to the diving board and I did a 1.5 tuck. And I was, I was a pudgy little guy, but the lifeguard said, "Hey, how you know how to do that?" And I was like, "I'm an Olympic diver." And he's like, no, what? You're going to be an Olympic diver?" And I was like, "Yeah."
But you have that dream.
And so this guy started training me on diving.
Wow.
By the end of the summer, I was doing a 1.5 tuck and almost could pull a 2 off the high diving board. The high diving board. And, the only reason that I didn't continue to pursue it is because my environment didn't provide the influence, nor did I have the training to continue on. So in other words, there was nothing to focus on. I didn't have any focus, right? But then years later, my daughter's, into running and that kind of thing, track and field. And she's highly inspired by the Olympics track and field team, right? And specifically the track team, sprinters. And so I'm thinking about my situation. I'm going, okay, wait a minute. The only reason I didn't get to do this was because, again, the environment, the influence. And I thought, okay, you got to put her in position so she can at least pursue this properly. And so, long story short, we got her in track and field, and she did terrible in junior high school, right? But she still has this idea that I'm going to be an Olympic runner, And so eventually I got to transfer her to an environment where it would help her develop in this way. Got her in Klein High School. And she did so well with the training they provided that her freshman year, she got promoted to the varsity team.
Wow.
Now, let me say this too. In junior high, she always came in last place. She never came in. She never placed anywhere else but last. Her entire junior high track career.
Wow.
But then she goes to high school
with the right training.
Change her environment, get her some training. And now all of a sudden she's promoted from the freshman squad to the varsity squad. She's a freshman running on the 4x100 and the 4x200 relay.
Wow, she got some good speed.
Right. And so anyway, eventually what ends up happening is she got a scholarship. She ran JUCO for 2 years, and then she went to D1 school and ran a couple of years, and then she started popping out babies. Okay. Shout out to Ashley. We love you. But the moral of the story is that's the influence that Olympics and sports in general have on people.
Yeah.
Is that it really shows us the great possibility, what's possible. But at the same time, you just can't watch it and go, I'm going to do that someday.
I'm going to do it. Yes. It's a lot of
work. Don't
get
your affirmations twisted. No, it's affirmation and action. Right. Let's do something to get to where it is that we're trying to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I thank the Olympics for teaching me that lesson because, again, there's somebody somewhere sitting around going, I want to ski. I want to bobsled. I want to whatever it is that y'all be doing.
That was a wonderful story. It's a life lesson. I think I've seen Marcus post things like that too. It's quite a life story. Well, just dreaming about it is great, but if you don't have action to back it up, but you also need the environment too. There's a lot of combinations that go into it. Noah, he's got a chance to be on one of those traveling or some of the basketball teams, but it's $250 a month. That's a lot of money, and boy, it sure would excel his abilities. But wow, that's a good story. I like it.
It's a good one, Daryl. No doubt about that. I don't know how I miss you and your Speedos jumping off of a diving board. I sure as hell would have gave you some grief on that one. You must have did that one behind our back, because I sure as hell.
That was younger. That was around 5th, 6th grade. Going into 7th.
Okay. Now it's making sense. I was like, man, come on, dog. There's no way in heck I missed all that. I don't know how. We had a couple years where we saw each other every day. So, but no, I think Bruce, the only other thing, and it's a memory, and it's just, it's the whole situation with Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan, how that all went down.
Oh gosh, yes,
that
was
that was pretty crazy. So for you youngins out there who don't remember the story,
yeah, tell us that story. That was crazy.
So it happened in January 1994. And Nancy Kerrigan she was like a really strong athlete, gymnast, and she was struck right before competing, struck in the knee with a baton, and obviously the goal was to injure her. And once they,
baton.
Yeah, once they did their investigation, they found out that the person who attacked was someone that was tied to Tanya Harding, who was another high, qualified ranking gymnast as well. Her ex-husband, he was associated with it. So I mean, I still remember like Nancy crying, like why? I mean, it was pretty crazy. But they finally, did the investigation, and initially Tanya Harding's like, "Oh, I didn't do anything with this. I had nothing to do." And then she later admitted helping to cover it up, which I still think that's only telling half the truth. I think she was in on it from the beginning, but nevertheless, she got banned from life from figure skating, and she was stripped of her 1994 U.S. championship title. But when you think about Nancy Kerrigan, talk about a story of redemption or just kind of coming back, right? She recovered, she went to the Olympics, and she actually ended up winning the silver in the Olympics. Yeah. So, it was great to see that comeback story, but man, talk about the tabloids back then. Like that was pretty huge when that all kind of, initially rolled out, right? That was that 1994. That was a lot of stories that happened, or a lot of things in the news that year in terms of current athletes and previous athletes. I'll just leave it at that. But wow, I still remember that story like it was yesterday.
So wait. You telling me the Nancy was her name Nancy Kerrigan, right?
Yeah.
You telling me that was 1994?
Yeah.
Really?
Bro, that was a long time ago, bro.
Well, no, I thought it was. Yeah, I was thinking that was the 80s. I don't know why.
Nah, it was 1994, dude. It was 94.
94.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That was a big story, wasn't it? I guess, too, we had that idea, still with the idealism. They're all amateurs, kumbaya, and we're all together, and then, boy, this comes out of nowhere. Yeah. And I got to tell you a memory, too. When you talk about this skating, my best friend growing up, he was in a wicked car accident. We thought he was going to die, but he recovered, and part of his therapy was to go into dancing. His sister was a really good dancer. So he went into dance. He got to be a really, really good dancer. He toured through Europe and was a really good dancer. And he was coming once home, I remember, and we were watching the Olympics. And we saw the skaters doing those, whatever they call those quad things. And he does some of those things as a dancer. He could jump up and spin and land and keep on going. He says, I can do that. I'm like, it's on skates. He says, I can do that. All right. So we went to the skating rink together, I can barely stay up on the skates, but we're going. He's behind me. So I'm like, okay, do it. So he does it. He's coming down. He goes up in the air. And when he lands, that's when he realizes it's on ice. Man, all of a sudden he just wipes out. And I'm in front of him. He wipes me out. Both our heads are like, bam.
Oh, yeah.
Just laying there. So I feel like it's like that Cool Running, like, you alive, man? He was like, are you alive? I thought you said you could do it. It's like, guess not. Anyway, it's funnier if you were there.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Anyway, any other memories for the Olympics? Oh, the opening ceremony. You mustn't have seen the opening. They're always great, aren't they? The opening ceremonies. I think they have more money for the Summer Olympics and the winter. They always seem to be more spectacular, but it was really good. I really appreciated it. You could see the dancers out there, just how athletic they are too. I mean, they're very good as well. And when those 5 spears come together and form the Olympics, it was really magnificent. They did a good job. Thanks, Italy. Did a good job. All right, you guys, you got any memories about the Olympics? Any comments about these Olympics? I'm watching some of it. I'm not watching it all the time, but I'm enjoying it because I'm seeing things I've never seen before, including curling, which I usually don't watch. Sorry. Anyway, we'll see y'all later. Leave us a comment and have fun.
Peace.